Hello, welcome to the lecture. Okay, so this lecture is on thermal equilibrium. We'll be studying temperature scales also, but whatever is in the thermal physics and whatever you should know before attempting the a paper or before attempting any concept related to thermal physics, you have to understand what is basically thermal physics, where is it originating from, and how do we differentiate different concepts in thermal physics. As you can see, I have written down a few terms and a few things on the board already. These are the things which students really get confused with, and not only they do get confused with it, they interrelate them also. So, first of all, before diving into thermal physics, you need to understand what is the difference between these terms that are already mentioned. Okay, so when people hear the word temperature, because thermal equilibrium is highly related to temperature also. Yeah, like whenever somebody hears the word temperature, they usually tell me, like my students usually tell me that how cold or how hot something is, that's temperature. Whereas, if you think about it for a second, science is not an abstract thing. Science is not just something based on what you feel. It's basically a very, very quantitative thing, something that you can define properly, something that's tangible, that's explainable over different scenarios, over different things. So, how do you feel? You feel cold or you feel hot is not temperature, basically. Okay, so by the end of this lecture, we'll be able to define temperature also, because how hot or how cold is just a subjective definition. What is very hot for me might not be as hot for you. Even between human beings, we change a lot. And other than that, among species also, something very hot for you might not be very hot for somebody else, right? So, hot and cold, these things are very subjective and they depend on your own experience. So, in this lecture, we are going to define a few questions like what is thermal energy, what is temperature, what happens when two objects touch each other, and why do they eventually stop exchanging heat. And from there, you have to remember that heat in itself is a different thing. Okay, so we'll understand all of it. As you all know, that matter is made of the particles, and you can see particles written over here also. Particle is like, we know everything has the smallest unit, right? So every matter has a smallest unit that we call particles, that everything is made of particles. It could include anything, it could include air, water, table, phone, anything. Everything consists of atoms and molecules. Although these particles are extremely tiny, they are never completely still. They are always moving. So they will always be moving. Always. Some people have misconception that in a solid they are not moving, but that's not true. They are always moving. And faster something moves, the faster something moves, more energy that thing is going to have. So this is the first thing that I want you guys to remember, that the faster something moves, the more energy it is going to have. Okay, so important point from here originates is that every particle has two types of energy. One is kinetic energy, the other one is potential energy. Kinetic energy we call it kinetic energy when something is moving, right? We call that energy kinetic energy. And when something is not moving, we call it potential energy. Another definition for potential energy is when neighboring particles attract each other. Okay, so when particles attract each other and they are able to stay in one position, we call them potential energy. Kinetic and potential energy combined will give you internal energy of a system, of a substance, of a system, anything. Yet, until this point, do not confuse internal energy with thermal energy, because thermal energy is a different concept. Okay, how do they get related to each other is something we'll understand in a minute. For now, internal energy is made up of two things. One is kinetic, one is potential, and both of these things combine together, and then we state the internal energy of a system. Then the question arises, what is thermal energy? If it is different, how is it different? So, over here, I'll ask you to imagine two cups. Cup A has very energetic water molecules. Cup B has a bit slower water molecules. Which cup do you think is going to have more thermal energy? Cup A is going to have more thermal energy, right? Because the particles possess more internal energy over here. So, thermal energy basically refers to the internal energy associated with random motion, as I have written over here, random motion, plus the interactions of particles within an object. Okay, so it's it's internal energy also, which is random motion and interaction of particles. And thermal energy belongs to an object. It is stored inside the object. It is not moving from one object to another until there is a temperature difference. Okay, so this is internal energy and thermal energy. Internal energy is defined in the sense of kinetic energy and potential energy. Thermal energy is defined in the sense that there is some internal energy which we will talk about when we are talking about just motion and interaction of particles within an object. Remember, sometimes in physics there is some the same concept, but you look at it from different scenarios, different like different perspectives, and the name changes because relating them is a bit different. So the way you're defining it, the situation that you're using, that's what's going to determine which kind of concept we are using. So internal energy, if somebody asks you, you don't have to talk about thermal energy, you don't have to talk about anything. You can say, and everybody can say that, wait a minute, internal energy and thermal energy look the same, their definition seems to be the same. But remember that when you talk about internal energy, even if there is no heat present, even if there is no movement of particles present, even if it's not hot, it's not cold, it doesn't matter. You're just describing the energy of that system, and energy of that system is just kinetic and potential, the basic system. Whereas when we come to thermal energy, now we associate the random motion, the interaction of particles within an object and everything with the amount of heat that could be present over there, which can move also when there is a temperature difference. But let's understand what is temperature also. As it's written over here, the average kinetic energy of the particles, and this is the exact definition. Before I explain it to you, temperature is not the amount of heat, temperature is not thermal energy, because these definitions don't tell you the movement of particles. Temperature just gives you the average of how particles are, how much energy they have. Okay, so on average, there could be cup A with 100 particles. Still, the average energy each particle could be 10 joules. There could be a cup B with 1000 particles, and still the average could be 10 joules per particle. So, temperature can be the same for both of them because it's just giving you the average of the kinetic energy of the particles. Okay, so when we talk about then cup B, which has more particles, we say that this cup B contains much more thermal energy because it has many more particles. Okay, so with temperature, we talk about the particles also, and we talk about their energies as well. So temperature measures the average kinetic energy, and thermal energy depends on number of particles. This thermal energy, I'm talking about this thermal energy, number of particles and energy of particles, energy of these particles. So when you are talking about thermal energy basically means number of particles which are there that are moving. What is the energy of particles? How much is the interaction between them? But when you're talking about temperature, you are just talking about the average kinetic energy of the particles. And average kinetic energy, as I told you, two particles could be of different number of particles and still have the same average kinetic energy, which means still have the same temperature. So when we are looking at just the temperature, the number of particles could be different. But to study number of particles, then we move on to the concept of thermal energy. I hope it is clear until now because these concepts are different from each other just with minor differences, and I'll summarize it in the end again also. But let's move on to heat first. Heat is something which is in transition. Okay, it is something in transit. Think about money in your account. If you have money in your account, now this is not moving anywhere. It's going to stay. Okay, it's going to be there. So when it's not moving, it's basically just thermal energy which is there. Okay, you can think of that money in your account as thermal energy which is there. But when you transfer that money to somebody else, now transfer happened, transit happened. So we say it's heat. Okay, so heat is something which is moving. So thermal energy, which is transferred from a higher temperature object to a lower temperature object because of a temperature difference, is called heat. So never think that heat is something how hot, how cold, very much hot, very less hot. No, it's not that. At IGCSE levels also, at A levels also, at all the levels, these are the basic definitions you need to know for the thermal physics to be able to understand thermal equilibrium ultimately also. And it's always going to be from a hot temperature object to a lower temperature object. It's never going to be vice versa. Okay. Why high temperature? Because high temperature means more energy, right? High temperature, as we already studied, average kinetic energy. So higher temperature, more energy. More, if you write, when you write about more energy, please write down about collisions also. Because obviously, when they are moving with more energy, they are colliding into each other. When they are colliding into each other, they are transferring energy to each other. They are transferring energy. And because they are transferring energy, that is why hot cup is going to give energy to the cold cup until the temperatures become equal, which we call as thermal equilibrium also. Okay, so if you put a spoon into a hot cup of tea and you let it sit over there, the hot cup of tea, the particles in the hot cup of tea have more energy. So the heat will transfer from the tea to the spoon because of more collisions, and it is going to transfer energy to the spoon. As a result, after a while, you will notice that the temperature of the tea drops, the cup of tea drops, and for of the spoon, the temperature of the spoon is going to rise until a point reaches when the temperature of both of them is going to be the same. That's called thermal equilibrium. So no heat transfer, like net heat transfer doesn't occur. The question is, will energy keep flowing forever? Energy doesn't keep flowing forever. Eventually, both hot cup of tea and spoon are going to reach one temperature, but particles are still going to move. At thermal equilibrium, particles are still moving. Particles still moving. They are not changing. Collisions still happening. That is why when you get an exam question where they are asking you about some kind of heat or thermal energy or something, you have to mention particles, movement of particles and collisions, and energy is still being exchanged. But net transfer is something we see. Net transfer means the resultant. The net transfer of thermal energy, if you look at that one, there is no energy, because the energy that is going to be transferred from the hot cup of tea to the spoon is going to be equal to the energy which is transferred back from the spoon to the cup of tea. Let me write it down also for it to become easier for you. So the energy which is transferred from cup to spoon is going to be equal to the energy which is going to be transferred back from the spoon to the cup. This is thermal equilibrium. It's the same equilibrium as we study in chemistry also, where after a certain time, the reactants and products, like they're still interchanging, but the net becomes at equilibrium. Okay. So the definition, and especially the exam definition for thermal equilibrium, is that two bodies are in thermal equilibrium when they are at the same temperature. So this is the first point that you have to write, that the examiner would be looking for, and there is no net transfer of thermal energy. No net transfer of thermal energy. The particles do not stop moving, which is a misconception also. The particles do not stop moving, only the net flow stops. Okay. And I want to tell you something just additionally over here, that whenever you are studying some equilibrium concept, be it physics, be it chemistry, any other topic, wherever you see the word equilibrium or a balance, remember that the concept that you were initially studying, that's still happening. It's just that the resultant has stopped. Okay, the resultant becomes zero because both those things become equal and opposite to each other. And equal and opposite is the reason that we say there is nothing as a net. Equal and opposite. Equal and opposite means 2 is equals to 2. So plus 2 and minus 2 both exist at the same time, but they cancel out each other's effect. So this is what we call equilibrium. So for the thermal equilibrium, different temperatures, thermal energy transfers, which means heat transfers, okay, which we call heat. Same temperatures, no net transfer. Okay, so remember that in same temperature, thermal equilibrium is attained. So these were the basic concepts related to thermal equilibrium. Let me revise them once again. Internal energy, total energy of the system. Doesn't matter if you're studying thermal physics or any other concept of physics or chemistry, doesn't matter. It's just about the system. It doesn't relate to any one of them in particular. Then thermal energy is something where you study about the number of particles also, or in energy of particles and interactions also, even if their temperature is same, because temperature is just the measure of average kinetic energy. It's not an in-depth study. Thermal energy is the in-depth study, and heat is just the thermal energy transferred. Okay, after this are temperature scales that we'll be studying in the next lecture, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye.